Big Mike here for part 3 of this GM starter video tutorial. Now we're getting to the part that I've been really waiting for, world building. I've had people come up to me at conventions and a lot of people have trouble building sort of their world, their environment, and starting off for the first time. And some people kind of want to look at pre-made adventure modules before they start. Don't. The best thing you can do, like I said in the first video, is try and make mistakes. Okay? Because the more you learn now in this period when you're going to be learning and absorbing the most, the better you'll get down the road. And then you can start leading on the adventure modules when you're ready and you find something really good. Now, there's a lot to say for storytelling and things like that. But I'm going to hit you with the thing that has to be the most important thing. And I may have mentioned it before, I'm going to say it now. The players don't need to be the most powerful people. They don't need to be the most important people. They don't even need to be the most qualified people to handle the problem. But the players must matter. Whatever happens, for good or for bad, and if you're running a certain kind of game, sometimes for bad, the players, what they do must matter. So create a situation where what the players do is going to matter and affect something a little bit bigger than themselves. For a lot of people, that first adventure is there is kobolds in a pit somewhere over there and you have to help a group of farmers. Now, to a lot of you, that sounds very boring. But if you introduce the players to the idea of the village, that you see there's less men, it's really filthy, the crops are malnourished, you can see where cows have been assaulted and things like that, you can really paint the world. So if you're looking for a more traditional good versus evil thing, I'll give you this one bit of advice. Evil doesn't exist in a vacuum. Say, for example, you've got a city. And this city is ruled by a lich in secrecy. This city isn't going to be right. You know? There's going to be evidence of it. So maybe it'll be too perfect. It'll be a regime or horrible dictatorship. Or you'll see the seeds of corruption. It'll be a filthy, grungy, dark kind of city. Things like that. The traditional Dungeons and Dragons adventure gets a bit of a bad rap because so much stuff happens in a dungeon. And a dungeon is, theoretically, the most closed-off possible place an adventure can be. What happens there may not affect the outside world. But that doesn't have to limit you. Crime, horrible acts, they bleed out and they kind of paint the world. If you can create something that has a larger effect on the world, you can create something really good. What you want to do, if you're looking for a bit more of a traditional kind of adventure, you'll want to build up to something bigger. Which is why I say evil bleeds out. Because if your players are just kind of starting off in the fringes of what this horrible thing is, they're going to be dealing with little brush fires from it. So say there's an advancing army attacking a nation. What about scavengers hurting small villages who have been relocated, ex-soldiers? And that slowly builds you up until you take down the big army. That kind of thing. My next bit of advice for world building is to make memorable NPCs. What do I mean by that? Well, make your NPCs memorable. Try to give your NPCs personality. There's two reasons for this. One, it'll make you a lot better at making characters and help your players make characters by helping them find personalities and things like that. But on top of that, NPCs are like bookmarks in an adventure. They help the player remember and keep track of the things they've done. If you give every NPC their own personality and flavor, you can really help expand and flesh out the world and kind of give it a bit of a taste. My second point about world building is for all of your work, your players will go off the grid. This goes back to what I said in the first video about the fact that players have so many options to them. They will start to explore different options. And when you're starting to really create an adventure, leave yourself little gaps where you can paint the world based on the players' inputs and what they interact with. Like say, for example, your players end up in a city in their adventure, whether it's in a cowboy adventure or whatever. It doesn't matter where. They end up in a city and they hold up there for a time. how do they interact with that city? What if they need to make money? What if they need to take on jobs and things like that? You didn't plan for this. You weren't really planning for this city to even be a part of it. It was just a name on your map. But they stopped here. You can't plan for all of the places that they're going to stop and interact with. So leave yourself little notes and little flavor things, but allow it so that the players can help you fill in things. Because when you start to really learn what your players want, you'll begin to see what kind of things will be at the end of the road waiting for them when they start to diverge off the path. And if they diverge off the path for good, that's not so bad either. They might just create their own adventure that you weren't even expecting. And then you can bring in your horrible big bad to come in and take over their town. And then they're motivated because all of a sudden you got a group of players who've holed up here for over a year and they've made a home here. And that's an even better plot hook. Alright, that's it for part 3 of our little video series. I hope it's been helpful. Now, for this video, if you have any questions, ask us in the reply of this video. Just reply to this video, ask your questions here. We'll try to get them from Twitter and Facebook and other places, but ask them down here, and we'll do our very best to answer each and every one, okay? I hope you found these videos informative. If you guys want us to do more or talk more, we're more than happy to do it. Otherwise, thanks a whole bunch for watching, and I'll see you at the next D20 Live event. Well, actually, no, I won't. I'll see you in part 4. Later!